Hi, my name is Benjamin Alexis, and I'm currently getting gang stalked by the state of Louisiana and possibly the federal government. I first started to notice that I was getting gang stalked via remote neuromonitoring technology about 3 years ago. Although I did not know what it was at first, I do recall being very frightened, very scared for my life, my children's life, my child's life at the time. I only had one, because I didn't know what it was. I hired a person because I thought that there were devices inside of my home for some reason, because remote neuromonitoring, you hear sounds and you don't know where it's coming from. And if you're not in check with reality and you know that you aren't 100% certain that you're not a psych patient, technology will make you feel like one. So at first I had some doubts, like any natural person would. Some of the tactics that they use to torture me via remote neuromonitoring technology, they criticize everything that I do. They also have all three of my children hooked up to remote neuromonitoring technology. And they alter their behavior as they see please. If I go somewhere during the day and I leave the children at home, they have the children all over the house. At the most inconvenient times, they will have them act out and cry. And as soon as I say to the remote neuromonitoring technician to please stop, or I scream fucking stop, their behavior changes. I'm blaming the Miro Foundation, located in Miro, Louisiana, for this, because my family owns 45,000 acres of marshland. We have marshland adjacent to our land, and Doc Miro, who was the sheriff of St. Bernard Parish in the 20s and 30s, when he acquired his marshland, he could only buy so much of it all at once, so he put marshland in my great-grandmother's name. And now that they want the marshland back for whatever reason, whether it be the sediment diversion program called the Mid-Breton Sound Sediment Diversion, which diverts sediment from the Mississippi River to the marshland, making it a barrier island, whether it be for purposes involving that, I'm not sure. They should have declared eminent domain, but they didn't. Could there possibly be oil on it? Absolutely. And they probably are going to frack the oil from some other location. I've posted several videos about community gang stalking in the past. I wanted to take some time today to explain how it's changed my life. And the reason why I'm putting it on YouTube is because I want to keep record to, in case something does take place, they'll be able to reference back to it. So, remote neuromonitoring technology has changed my life forever. I was 30 years old when I first noticed it. However, I can date remote neuromonitoring technology being used well before that. Since I went through, it probably was used to determine what high school I went to, because Doc Miro went to an all-boys school. He studied in London. He went to Tulane and he became a doctor. I went to an all-boys school. I studied in London. I went to Tulane and I became a medic. So I decided in 2001, And that's right around the time that this technology was rolling out via satellite. Prior to that, it was RFID chips in satellite. Now, so I was 30 years old when I first noticed it, and I saw out of character behavior changes that I wanted to know the reason why. And so I kept Googling stuff, behavior, and what I was experiencing, and remote neuromonitoring up as well. I realized that while doing research, I realized that my mother was an MK Ultra mind control victim, and I was a mind control descendant. I'd like to point out another reason why I am blaming the Miro Foundation is because my mother was also her parents at Jill Miro, 6 years old. And so that's another coincidence. But when I started to see out of character behavior changes, it alarmed me, and I said to myself, who in my community could afford to community gang stalk me, and what would their purpose be? What would be the reasoning behind it? Right off the back, I said, okay, it has to be the Miro Foundation because they're a large landowner, and it has to involve my dad's marshland, which he was trying to convert into an oyster lease. And so I kept digging further and further and further into it, found out that they own marshland adjacent to it. And that's how I realized, hey, this technology is being used because the mother of my children's last name is LeBlanc, mine is Alexis, and theirs is Miro, and LeBlanc Alexis Miro in French means the white Alexis is Miro, and we're the only white Alexis family in Louisiana.
Boom!
Go ahead, baby.
I scared you.
Yeah.
I'm liking the photo.
Give me a kissy. Daddy's doing his homework. Go ahead.
Liking the photo.
Okay. Please.
But we see the photo.
Please. Now go ahead.
What the photo is supposed to be?
Daddy's doing his homework. You're messing it up.